Hello, everyone. So I wasn't going to do more videos today. I will be doing more, at least this one. I found out where the Russian VK article is from. It is from Russian Cosmopolitan magazine, and apparently it was mid 2010. So we're saying somewhere between 2005 and 2010, which, so this has been circulating and still circulates. So that in itself is pretty interesting. Sorry, I'm just trying to play around so I can get to this text. So isn't it interesting? That's quite a while ago. We're looking 15 years ago for this. So it's probably actually more relevant than what we think. So if this was going on, if this was a generalized opinion back then, and with the advent of more and more feminism in Russia, more and more divorce, um, this is probably, you could probably critique it as this is light. This is actually not anywhere near as harsh as what I think it is. If we're talking a 15-year-old article and this is the traits, then you can guarantee the traits will be far more intense. So it's probably reflecting on it, what foreigners find repulsive about Russian women. I mean, I've come across some quite opinionated Russian women, very opinionated, where it's like their opinion is the only one that matters in the entire universe. Not even another woman's opinion matters. I have had, um, my take on this is that my personal experience is this. I've had one woman in Minsk say, the past is the past. I put my past behind me. Okay, so this might be different because I was very close to this other person I'm going to tell you about, and they felt um, safe and confident around me that they divulged much of their life. In fact, they talked on a regular basis about the past and their experiences with men. And then the same one that wants to put past in the past also normalize the trauma of the one that wanted to talk about the difficulties of relationships with men in Russia, like including um, family, men in the family. So, so they normalized it in that, oh yeah, I mean that story's so common, Bradley. It's not nearly 1 in 2 Slavic women have been through the horrid divorce with the horrible drunk, lazy husband, and yeah, that's just so common. Okay, so this is from that same one that took 2 years to get over the death of a partner to find they were ready to date again. So, I mean, let's just think about that. And then there's other ones who wanted to comment on like someone's relationship break who knows nothing about attachment style and just goes, oh yeah, this poor guy was like victimized. It's like, oh well, what did he do that she did this? And it was like never anything to do with a woman who openly admitted um she carried trauma. So, but it was never the woman's fault. But then all these Slavic women post 40 who just don't seem to be able to land a man or say it's difficult. There's some really amazing Russian women who openly admit they are problematic. There's this amazing one in actually not in Moscow. They're in a little place not far from. a border. So, yeah, they said they figured they're problematic. This other one that carried trauma said they wanted to have another child, and no man came along in like 20 odd years. I find it very difficult to believe this woman was attractive, intelligent, could hold a great conversation, great sense of humor. On the surface, you wouldn't think there'd be any trouble, but the trouble is below the surface. And it's sits at a level I'm finding more and more Slavic people don't want to even acknowledge exists. It's just like, so one guy in Ukraine who'd lived in Russia, when he heard about this person, and they were like, oh yeah, because this person sent, what did they do? They sent flowers as try to patch up some difference that had happened. So he just said, oh, Russian women don't like weak men. So I couldn't believe it. So the same guy comes up with this Ukrainian saying that everything but the bees are bullshit. And even then, the bees will become bullshit. Meaning there's no point in life. There's like, if the one exception to being something that is what it translates to bullshit from Russian. So he's saying at the end of the day, just nothing in life matters, nothing. So, but the same person had no interest in psychology, because I did this piece on how hundreds of years of Stoicism has left behind generations of traumatized women unable to build healthy relationships. And I was validated more than once by different Slavic women. And I even have it in writing from one that when I spoke about this, that on the dating sites, there are these women who go, I'm this and this and this and this and this. And you read the profile and go, oh, sounds quite nice. Then you meet the person and they're like literally nothing like the profile. They are damaged. They are like passive aggressive. They're demanding. There's nothing pleasant. There's nothing pleasant in the experience of meeting them. Then they'll just go, men are this, men are that, men are the other thing. And that's fine. If they want to, they can be 80 years old and saying this. But this is a thing where needing to present as perfect is completely a pointless exercise, because none of us are perfect. So if people just admitted, if we were a bit more open and a bit honest about themselves first, and then honest to other people, they probably wouldn't find half the difficulty they have in establishing a healthy relationship. So with the preamble out the way, let's have a look at point 6. Now that we know what this article is, and you can bet money that these traits are more and more entrenched and much, much stronger now than what this article makes out. So point 6 of the VK article that now we know is in Cosmopolitan Russian magazine. A Russian woman is a wonderful mother equals a Russian woman believes she performs a daily heroic feat. The Russian woman is a hero mother, not in the sense that she wants and is ready to raise many children, but because she views motherhood as a daily feat. Pregnancy is a unique state. A childbirth is a heroic act. Raising a child is a high mission. Meanwhile, she makes it clear that the father is secondary and not that important in the child's life. The idea of a father taking parental leave horrifies her. Impossible. Only she should be on leave until the child finishes primary school. By then, one can have a second child, extending her leave another decade. Russian men are fine with this, but only Russian men. Now that speaks volumes to me. I remember one Russian woman saying, it was interesting. The wording was like, you have the child to better your own life, or you having a child impacts on your life as a parent rather than you are actually having the child. So it would grow up to be individualistic human being, like a separate entity to you. So, of course, the mother's connection to children is completely different to a male's relationship to their children. It's not even a debatable topic. It's like the woman carrying the child has that connection. In fact, one of the Russian women I know, this is true. Childbirth is a heroic act. I know someone who nearly died giving birth. That's not a minimalistic statement. So children are just such a complex issue to bring into it. So yeah, sure, the child takes priority, and sure, the Russian man can develop jealousy towards the child because all of a sudden that attention that he was receiving from his wife now goes to the child, and then he's expected to participate in raising a child, which is fine. But there's all mental health around having children, that there can be postnatal depression. There can be all the anxiety around if the child will be healthy, and if they're not healthy, then that takes on an entirely new story and a complete change in their life. So yeah, I get it. It's true. It's true. Pretty much, if a man wants to begin a relationship with a mother who has children, no matter the age, they have an incredibly close connection to their children. So, in fact, there's something interesting cycles back. When they get to around 50, they feel an incredible drive to become even more connected than what happened between, say, I'm guessing 20 to when the child, say, 18 to 30 or something, or whatever the age the mother is when the child's around 20. But for the mother, when she gets to late 40s, I've just observed that there's a high drive in them to stay connected, closer than ever to their children, to the point of moving countries to be with them. So some don't, some do, but I know two that want to, and I knew one that didn't because the Russian moved to Austria. But yeah, I probably don't have that much more to say on this. I'll probably have a lot more to say on other stuff later. Because that relationship doesn't impact on, well, attachment style. It does, come to think of it. If you're anxious attachment, fearful avoidant, you're in a relationship and then the attention goes away from you to another person, you could actually exhibit some protest behavior and become a little bit jealous and possibly passive aggressive, and it could cause conflict, and actually could. But I don't think there's much more to talk about that. But it happens in the West. It's not unique to Russian women at all. I think in the West, they're more likely to put children into childcare daily and continue working. They won't take time off work to raise the child. They take time off work to have the child and get back to work as quick as they can if they're career-minded. So they're usually dismissive, avoidant parents anyway, who will not actually do a good job at parenting. And they'll provide, they'll be the most awesome providers in the world. That child will go without nothing. It will have everything it needs except the thing it needs the most, which is love and nurturing and support.